6's opening episode, Jamie is reunited with a face from his past, Marcelly struggles with the aftermath of season 5, and Claire invents an exciting new medical marvel ahead of its time. Welcome to Outlander Insider.
Hello, it's nice to be here.
I'm so excited that the show is back. Yay, Outlander is finally over. What did you make of season 6, episode 1?
Well, it has been a long 2 years, but it's so good to be back at Fraser's Ridge with Claire and Jamie. The episode started with quite a lengthy flashback, which kind of different to what we've seen before. 20 minutes in, then we're back at Fraser's Ridge, and it was great to see Jamie and Claire once again enjoying life with the kids, the grandkids. Yeah, I just love seeing life on the Ridge once again.
It was a long flashback, but obviously it had its reasons. And like you say, I also love seeing going from sort of traumatized post-Culloden, awful Jamie that's so sad to see, and then Jamie with his kids and his grandkids. And speaking of, we actually interviewed Sophie, Skelton and Richard Rankin the other week, who play Brianna and Roger on the show, and they were telling us about this season 6 and about how Brianna is going to get interested in bringing her engineering expertise to Fraser's Ridge, and this is what they had to say about it.
And another thing that Bree obviously is dealing with is not really being taken seriously. You know, she's invented this amazing invention 300 years, well, not 300 years early, but and just no one is bothered. Yeah. I mean, is that going to be an increasing issue for your character going forward? Because I feel like the stones have to come back into it in some way at some point. Ever tempted to go back through?
I mean, yeah, it's a funny moment because finally Brianna's actually starting to introduce her engineering mindset into this time, and she starts more with the matches, but it's a very funny thing, especially us watching it now as modern day people, knowing what a staple matches are going to be. And it's just so funny how unenthused they all are. They're just I've never had a problem lighting a fire. It's no, you will love these, you trust me. And I think, then in that moment, it's another kind of punch in the gut for Bree of you must just be pregnant if you have good news, because obviously that would just be the biggest news for a woman at that time. And so it really lays the groundwork in that first step for Brianna to make some changes on the mentality of the Ridge. But her inventions definitely get bigger and bolder. So matches is just the start.
So obviously going back to the lengthy flashback of Jamie in prison, obviously the purpose of it was because he made an enemy, definitely an adversary to a degree, in prison, who was Tom Christie, who has arrived at Fraser's Ridge with his children. And I don't know about you, Eve, but I get bad vibes from all of them. I'm a bit concerned about their presence there in our lovely family bubble, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. Obviously book readers will know, but for those watching the series as it goes along, you you're a bit suspicious of them. You don't really know them too well. Tom, played by the amazing Mark Lewis-Jones, he's a very serious man. He's a very pious man. It's kind of hard at this stage to kind of work out what his intentions are, and also work out what Alan and Malva are going to be doing this season.
I've got my eye on them because I just think that it is a bit of a thing with Outlander. If there's a newcomer, I will not trust them until they've proven themselves somehow. I've learned not to trust anyone because of this show. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do now they're here at Fraser's Ridge. How they're going to, involve themselves in the community.
For Bree and Roger, you guys start the season in quite a sort of peaceful time in your lives, which I can definitely see changing.
Yeah, I can see why peaceful time on Outlander seems too good to be true, but this actually is, as far as it goes for Roger and Brianna, with everything that they've been through, this is probably the most peaceful season we will see them at, which isn't necessarily saying a lot given how much they have been through, but they actually this season are very settled, and now that they've decided to stay in the past, they're just at a very grounded place really in their relationship and as individuals, and the chaos is sort of all around them, but they're actually the rocks in the middle of it really. And it's kind of this season they are the ones that people are going to for advice and whatever, and they tend to be the stability throughout this season, which is nice and different.
They changed the song again, and that's a big deal.
It was so good. I like the duet.
Yeah, I mean the big thing is they changed it. Yeah, they've changed it to duet, but they've also changed it from lass that has gone to lad.
It's you can't just say lass.
I think it's kind of interesting because we see Charles Stewart come back into it this season, and history nerds will know the song is about Bonnie Prince Charles and how he disguised himself as a girl to go to Island of Skye. So I think the lad thing makes you realise that Charles Stewart is now back in the story. I mean, that's how I interpreted it.
I think he will be. Oh my God, like, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Once again, Claire has brought modern medicine to way before its time, which, you know, fair play, but I do feel like it could have some major repercussions on, you know, the space-time continuum. But now she's invented, recreated anesthesia, which she's calling ether. And she's just taken it herself, which is just like crazy. It's such an unclear thing to do. And I think it's really probably likely due to the trauma of the season 5 finale that she's doing it. So do you think that's going to be a big part of this series, is like her struggling to move past that? Because it just seemed very odd that that was something that they included in the last moments.
Yeah, no, it made the episode really end on quite a dark note. She sort of has that bit of that nightmare flashback to her time when she was taken, and then she gets out of bed, and it seems the way she's going to cope with it is to kind of just take herself away from the situation and, you know, go under the ether. Yeah, it's kind of worrying if that's how Claire's going to deal with this trauma. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to finding out with episode 2, which obviously is going to be on next Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us for Outlander Insider. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and join us next week for more interviews with the cast of Outlander and post-episode discussions. Bye!